Hello? Can you hear me? I'm getting the sense you guys can. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me. Let's just check the stream. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, you guys can. Perfect. All right. Let's turn this down a little for me. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure my voice levels. Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, so it's another Intervallo, guys. Mo West, hmm? Nestic, Nestic experience. Is that the word? Yep. Oh no, I was right. Monastic experience slash gallery. All right. We haven't. We got a lot to do. Um. Well, actually, first things first. What team are we using? So this is an interesting boys team. We're bringing the BL team. I don't think we're gonna use the whole BL team. I'd have to upgrade you to 5 and stuff. I don't think you're gonna do what I need you to do, especially not without anything. I got nothing. Oh, but then again, if I roll, I mean, I can. Does one roll for the ego? Because I can get everything from here, right? Let me see. Oh no, I can only get. Yeah. How many pulls do I have? Because it's still oh, PP. I have 3 10 pulls and lots of lunacy. That's tough. It's a hard decision. I do kind of want both of them now. Like immediately, that would make my life easier. Then I don't have to use as many PO IDs. Well, the weaker ones. It looks pretty good. Ooh, hold on. Ooh, music in the background kind of not bad, not bad. My luck is pretty good. And this is like 1,300 times 10 plus a certain number more, almost double. So that's almost 20 10 pulls right here. That's plenty. And then I'm still gonna add some more. I want Ishmael. So I do get her, but not the one I want. Okay, pull again. Wait.
앵두야,
Oh,
목표가 뭐냐?
oh,
보시다시피
oh,
일입니다.
snap. Not what I wanted, but that is a cool trade-off. I'll take it. Huh? Fuck. I got the same thing again. Are you dead serious? So the rarest thing in the set, I get twice. Double or nothing. Got it? On
눈앞의
blue.
사람들을
Fuck.
전부 적출해버리면 되는 거죠?
Are you dead? Get stupid shit out of my face.
참아. 숨을 거두리라.
Hold. I'm like, damn, they really wasted my time with the Hanku Shadow Vested Blade Singer. This is the main thing I needed. The main thing I needed. Now, if we could just have Ishmael, I think this is the last one. We'll just do one last one. If this don't come through, fuck it. We're just gonna start playing. A third time? Is common? Be so dead serious. I have 1,000 threat. threads for? Why? This shit ain't adding up. And let me just get rid of these. I guess, well, at this many threads, I low-key might as well just upgrade her, I guess. Well, you're not getting anything new again, so why not? Also, I have so many threads. Like, I mean, there's a couple IDs to fill out, but I mean, sheesh. I mean, yeah, they took away the heals for this. It's fair. It's valid, actually. Actually, even more so, I probably should go you plus this, because you'll have bleed, kinda. Do I want to even... Do I even want to do this? I mean, I guess you'd get strong, but it's so wasteful. Oh, it's only 30 threads, though. And, okay, then yeah, sure. Like, 30 shards and stuff. It's not that expensive. I'll upgrade you to full, though. Probably cost the whole shebang, right? 84. Blech. Well, I mean... It would be dramatically accurate to use a whole team. One. We'll see. We'll see. We'll have them all in the team. Why not? Maybe if I get, you know, one more. But then again, if I get one more stronger unit, I'm not gonna use them. It's fine. All right, let's get started. We got a lot to cover, and not an infinite amount of time. Oh, and there's a reading sector. All right, let me lock in. No, wait. For this one, we should go about it like Tay. No, Heathcliff's been in the vanguard for too long. I should pull him back and let him... Dante? Huh? Oh, sorry. Did you say something? I provided you an answer to your question, but you exhibited no observable response. Is the sinner's combat performance deteriorating beyond manageable parameters? No, things aren't that bad. It's just that it's just hard to focus on one conversation when I'm trying to support battles happening in completely different places at once. On top of that, Rodia's shopping chatter is starting to get a little distracting. A few days after we entered Corp's district, the bus pulled over in the back streets of Corp to take care of a distortion case. This contract was supposed to be handled jointly with the LCD team, but distortion suddenly started cropping up all over in an area of back streets called Butter Street. Interesting name. Without any coherent pattern, no obvious point of origin or route of spread. Nothing convenient like that, and I had no choice but to split the sinners into several groups and send them out. Otis, Ishmael, Sinclair, Don Quixote, Yiseng, and Merceau were on their way to rendezvous with the LCD team. Heathcliff, Gregor, and Honglu were suppressing distortions that had showed up from other directions. And with our onboard stock scrapped down to the bottom, Merodia and Ryoshu, who were done with their share of suppression work, were put in charge of buying supplies for the bus. As for Faust, she decided to stay behind with me on the bus. I wanted to get through the consultation sessions I'd been putting off, and thought I might as well get myself some much needed practice with handling the new golden bow power I had acquired. To reiterate, there are no issues requiring special concern regarding Faust. It is true that Faust has on several recent occasions expressed dissatisfaction with a certain Faust. However, those instances should be classified as mere personal grievances. I mean, that's good if that's all there is to it, but this was not the first time Faust had seemed unlike herself. There had been times before when she spent far longer alone than usual, lost in thought, moments when she could not produce immediate answers to questions from other sinners to me, from other sinners or me. Could it be you can't access the Gestalt? Gestalt? May I ask your basis for that inference? Because you're acting a lot like you did back on the warp train. It appears there remain occasions on which you are still capable of surprising Faust, Dante. So I was right. You really are cut off from the shelf. That's just kind of crazy. Was that really the conclusion last week? I thought she just got in trouble. I didn't. Well, or maybe I'm forgetting. Maybe they did cut her off. Ooh, that's not good. That was not intended as a confirmation of your conjecture. Maybe she's saying that while she can technically access the shelf, it may as well be that she can't. I wish I could ask more and get to the bottom of it, but the way she was sidestepping the subject told me that prying wouldn't give me any further insight. Right. I don't press you if you don't want to don't want to talk about it. Your reserve is appreciated. Shall we move on? Yes. Your consultation is the next agenda. After cross-referencing the records pertaining to the recent events in the House of Spiders, it would appear that memories concerning the individuals designated as Sora and Ren currently remain only with you, Dante. As such, should the influence of Ryoshu and her sword lead to further omissions in the official records, the manager will be responsible for supplementing the necessary information. Yeah, not the first time I was the only one left with the intact memories, huh? That's right. Despite Kate Corp's memory wipe procedure, Catherine's erasure by the Golden Bow's power, and Arashiki severing people from existence, I was the only one who remembered what had transpired. But ironically enough, the memories I had prior to swapping my head with this clock still showed no sign of returning. There's an irony in that. He could remember everything that's happened so far in this journey, but he cannot remember not one thing that happened before he started this. It's a rough life he leads, truly, truly. Oh, I actually don't think I read that. Why won't my old memories come back though? Is it because of this clockhead? Speculations based on your experience with the bus team thus far will not meaningfully contribute to the recovery of your former memories, manager. Inductive reasoning conducted from memories with gaps, after all, is bound to have structural limitations. Bongi would serve as an adequate analogy. Bongi? Yes, Bongi receiving feed and increasing in body mass alone would provide it with no meaningful basis for identifying the purpose of its rearing. Even at the terminal stage, when exposed to kitchen instruments and the heat of the stove, its limited experience would prove inadequate to constitute an understanding of its ultimate fate and purpose. What? Likewise, the ultimate answer to your doubts can only be obtained from the whole of the experience that you will have accumulated at the terminus of your entire journey. That is, your allotted mission. Because treasure awaits at the end of the road, at the end of hell. And that treasure will give me back my memories and my head. Also, indeed, at the end of your road, you will be able to engrave your aspect. I still have no idea exactly what aspect means, or even whether it's an object, but if I know one thing, is that the me from before all of this began, I wanted it badly, obsessively, desperately. It's more like an instinctive knowledge, but with my memories gone, that feeling, however strong it is, does not change the fact that it's just another word with no discernible mental image. And you're not gonna tell me what it exactly what it actually is, are you? The aspect? What it means or why I wanted it so much? If it remains a piece of information that must be disclosed to you, then no. I mean, thanks, I guess. I'm unable to tell you. Hmm. Pay it no mind. You are still following your stars. You're pay it no mind. You're still following your star acceptably. Please concentrate on the journey. More importantly, have you grown accustomed to the incomplete power? Current observations suggest you have yet to arrive at that level. Well, I've gotten pretty used to focusing on one place at a time, but keeping track of several places at once is still a bit rough. Otis's team is doing well in combat even without my direct supervision, and Rodia's team is shopping and not engaged in battle at the moment. Taking my mind off them would prove much easier, but that wouldn't give me the much needed practice, so I'm doing my best to keep an eye on every center's status. Sufficient familiarity should result in substantial tactical value. You would be able to cast a wider net when information gathering and employ previously unavailable tactical patterns. Right. And I'd also be able to tell when it's bad at time to call someone into. Even as I continue talking with Faust, I make sure not to stop observing the places where each group is and what they're doing. Yep, pulling Heathcliff to the rear was the right call. I don't see any injuries. His team's still doing pretty well, even without my directions. As for Rhodia, wait, did she just stuff all of the pastries and bread she bought into her pockets? How did she manage that with a huge baguette? And Otis's group, let's see, looks like they joined up with LCD without any issues. LCD, then that guy over there must be. Hang on. Faust. There's a dude I've seen before, but he seems a bit different from what I remember. Could you specify the issue? I'm monitoring the situation right now. We should probably join up with them too. Let's end the consultation here. This is rather precipitous, Dante. If the incident is of serious nature, perhaps a request for support from the LCC. No, it's not an incident. Though I wouldn't say it's not serious. It's time. I've already seen his face. I mean, we also have his thing. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let us continue. This is going from bad to worse, really. Roxy seems to be tied up helping the other groups. Lotus's command calls have been working out well enough. I'll give her that. We've managed to hold the line better than expected, but we're definitely starting to feel the strain. Why are you waving your hand all of arm and hand signals? Huh? What signals? What's swinging the arm sideways even supposed to mean? You don't know? It's scattered, damn it. So scattered. Okay, that was a little loud. He's down a little bit. That was close. We almost got flattened. Damn it, even rookies with nothing but the most rudimentary of military training would have recognized a hand signal that basic. Well, we're not all trained soldiers here, are we? Rarely, the flourish of a single hand doth indeed make boast of a chivalric elegance. Yet when thou suddenly wavest thine arm out, clenching and unclenching thy hand in that mystical fashion, only the sudden turn tail, forsooth, I am left bereft of understanding what thou meanest to say. That was hard to say. To think that of all the personnel in the team, only the Swabby has the discipline to interpret a basic field signal. Oh, yes, please. She was essentially on a military boat. It unironically makes logical sense for her of all people to understand that. Versus, mm, I guess, young adults, uh, high school graduate? Question mark. And well, actually, but then again, Dark Hair is so, or Sancho rather, is so strong that militaristic, I guess, calls probably weren't even necessary. Also, she's technically not even the same species. Point is, it makes sense that two of these people didn't understand and one person did. I only picked it up during my sailing days, and realistically speaking, did you really expect ordinary people like the others to understand professional military signals? That's what I'm saying. This is unacceptable. After all the operations all of you have been deployed under my lead, you're all still ignorant when it comes to nonverbal signals? Bro, you haven't taught anybody anything. I I don't even I don't I don't think even Dante would know those signals. Yeah, might as well be splitting hairs, literally. Oh, I forgot he sings here too. Let us appease our negated hearts and follow Miss Otis's instruction. We should disperse and withdraw. Ezra, Mr. And something just died. All right, so I guess that solves that problem. Hey, pretty cool, huh? Let's face it, I know how to make one heck of an entrance. Oh, aren't you supposed to be cleaning up the distortions upstairs? Hmm. Oh, finito a million years ago. You guys were taking forever, so I figured I'd take a peek and lend a hand. You're welcome. Split by your thundering descent, the floor's form and shape are now crushed beyond mending, sunken deep enough to be likened to the insipid, incipient of a wellspring. And don't worry your head about it. That's all after teens to take care of. Anyway, that should be all of them, right? Hmm. The force of your landing neutralized the last of the distortions outside of the building. Great. Can you check on the distorted peeps' faces and clothes? Their faces are all segmented. Makes my skin crawl. Not a pleasant sight. As for their attire, this one appears to be a sweeper, and that one yonder appears the attire of an ordinary fixer. And this distortion I landed on, probably a local resident, judging by the clothes. Did any of you happen to see anything nearby bursting with a big pop and flash? Not once. Okay, okie dokie. You know what? Then let's all head upstairs. The suppression request is kind of a pain. We'll need to put together a nice, neat plan before we start poking it too hard. A plan, sayest thou? How? Was this not a mere matter of slaying distortions where they stand? Huh? Well, did nobody brief you? This has often been the structure of our assignments. You're given instructions, we perform them, and only afterwards do we begin to perceive the nature in the contour of the task which we have committed our hands. Really? Well, guess every department has its own way of doing things. No big deal. I'll explain everything once we're upstairs. Oh, by the way, you didn't get to meet the whole team last time, did you? Only our new girl. This time, that dude, I mean Mr. Bamboo Hatted Kim's, also here. So, huh? He's okay now? Sure he is. You'll be surprised once you see just how okay he is. What does that mean? Should I say something about him? I've heard things. The words across the streets are saying things. But last time you said he was still under treatment. Hmm. Hmm. To be precise, I believe Miss Ondu stated that his mind is yet to regain its former tranquility. That you'll get it once you see him. I feel like we'll just end up having the same conversation twice if I say anything about it now. All right, let's find out. Oh, it's one of my favorite songs. Ah, you arrived. What a image. Hold on. Let's just take a moment to appreciate. Is this not fire? Someone's in the booth cooking up. Ah, you arrived. It's blinding. It's so bright. The midday sun is pouring in like crazy. Yet the warm tinkle of the sunbeam is rather agreeable. No, it is not sunlight. Because unlike this, there is more to sunshine than its warmth. Then what exactly is this light? Why is this thing on again? It's bright enough to fry my eyeballs. Apologies, Lady Ezra. I am yet to be accustomed to this machine. This is my first time laying a hand upon the complicated workings of such a contraption. It's activated on its own accord. I have yet to discover the method by which it may be silenced. That's why that's why I told you to leave it alone. Dealing with things you don't understand usually ends with something for you broken. Nothing good comes of it, I tell you. But mentor, Lady Moses has instructed me that in every moment in an event, clues are hidden under the veil of one's surroundings and must be examined with care. Yes, and that only works if you're savvy about that knack. Hang on, did you say mentor? It's time! I had not yet been afforded a proper opportunity to introduce him to you. This here is the esteemed leader of the Blade lineage, was all but a master under whom I have apprenticed. Do you really have to dress it up like that? I told you, I only took on the role because there wasn't anyone else around to take the job. What a guy. Switch. Where's the switch? Gotcha. Mm. Ha! What? I'm thinking they're horrifying. This guy just has his barbs set up on the side, and he's lounging in a chair. I look at Egg do. Okay, you know what? She got that shit on. She kind of fitted up. Not bad. Goodness. Known as Bamboo Hatted Kim. Uh, yes, that's me. Guess I should say pleased to meet you, folks. That's actually such an entrance. I was thinking they're standing there with a bamboo hatted Kim, full of angst and aura. Nah, bro is just chilling. He's like the rest of us. He's just like the rest of us. Okay, so more often than not, first impressions are prone to change. The bamboo hatted Kim I remember was a man who drowned in his own fathoms, blaming himself for his powerlessness with a listless, heavy voice. That, however, that had been while he was distorted and sunken into himself. So I figured his original personality might be somewhat different. But this is not just somewhat. His personality isn't even in the same ballpark as my expectations. It is what I say. They said, not even they said, we've known Bamboo Hada Kim since the LOR days. And we were very much under the impression that bro was like just an absolute demon with the blade, which is probably still true, but by proxy, probably a really serious type. He's just in his 30s or something, just vibing. Well, maybe older, because everybody in these games is like a lot older than they look. But point is, he just seems like a guy, not the guy. He just seems like a guy. him, no, not hatted, no sword in hand. He might change up when he gets into fighting mode, but right now I'm just like he's just one of us. He's just vibing. You're telling me this guy here is bamboo hatted Ken? Yep. We double checked with Ezra, and she said he really is the same guy. Whoa, that fire on your head's not hot at all. Fascinating stuff. Literally just seems like another dude. Can we check again, just in case? I really can't wrap my head around the fact that this is the sullen, serious man whom we fought. Just look at what he's doing. He's rubbing my face over like he's checking out some kind of mantelpiece ornament. Lots of ticking and talking going on. That's supposed to sound like them talking to you folks. Huh? Further confirmation would be redundant, Dante. This individual is conclusively identical to the one designated as Bamboo Hatted Kim. We never seen his face. Is he identical? Do we really know that for sure? I've got no idea what you folks are so suspicious about. Ongdu. Just what exactly have you been telling people out there about me? They're all staring like they've seen a ghost. I told them you're a gallant, formidable warrior mentor. But they don't look like they've heard the most validatory things about me. There. Don't you hear it? The faint undercurrent of disappointment in the ticking? Sigh. It's too funny. I also told them that you are a man of few words with much affection for the followers under your command. See, his direct statement just seems so counter, because he's spoken so much, not in a bad way, but like, this is just a normal social guy. He looks like he makes a lot of friends on his travels. Ongdu. Yes, Mentor? That's a complete and utter lie. Man, a few words is definitely not something you could say about a guy who's as talkative as me. Don't you think? Yeah, I spoke so... though I spoke... Though... It's his disappointed face, like, you just lied about me. You just told... No wonder they think it's weird that I'm talking so much. You told them that I'm some diehard serious guy. And I'd just be vibing. And then she's like, yeah, I spoke no falsehood. Although your conduct is rather shallow and perhaps less refined for a leader of an organization, you are much more reserved and tactile when conversing with those unfamiliar to you, are you not? Bruh, why are you like this? No matter who one may be, one is bound to inspire either approval or disapproval from those around him. So, I refrain from mentioning any truths that might invite the latter. To even hint at anything that might tarnish the reputation of my master would be unlike spitting on his name, and mine by extension. Ogdu, you're... What a nice girl. I simply had no reason to put on airs in front of my own folks. In any case, so you can't see anything if I block this part. Do tell, how many fingers am I holding up? Those are not my eyes, you know. Your own folks? Huh. Then you have already acknowledged and accepted that you now belong to Limbus Company. Otis, can you wipe that smirk off your face, being mad dramatic? He just said essentially he's been hired, somewhat against his will. Well, not against his will, but he has no choice. That's the point. Why dost thou not pay a visit to the LCE? Verily, when one's mind is plagued by the absence of tranquility, venturing forth into open air and touchable field of grass cleareth the storm of the heart. An asset of the company is expected to act in company's interest. Yet, for whatever reason, I didn't see you fighting on the field of battle during Operation Spiderfire. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. So as you were saying, you will have to account for your absence in the mission. Otis, what are you talking about? You're the employee of a different department. Otis addresses Kim as though she were conducting a formal investigation, every word flat and hard. It was obvious she was not about to let her guard down anytime soon. Dramatic, dramatic, dramatic. What mission? Oh, that one. Kim finally seemed to incline to assume a more serious disposition. He stopped peering into my face and turned toward Otis, although his hand was still on my head. Hilarious. Alright, clearly there's some disconnect in expectations here. Listen here, you. I'm really not all that about hard, bothersome work. Get what I mean? Bro's not helping himself, not one iota. Bro really just starts off with, I don't like working. Alright. The real disconnect was between his stoic expression and the words coming out of his mouth. For real. What? So let's talk about the kind of fellow I am. Meet the resident layabout who's forced to do his job with a frown too. With a frown too, I might add. Only when he's got absolutely no other choice. I'm really not some big shot who's apparently been promoting me as folks. And I'd very much like to stop getting roped into stuff that keeps putting my life on the line. Rory said, I'm not here to suffer. I just want to live my life. Okay, you know what? Aura has been absolutely destroyed. In its place has been put in a very chill guy. He's too real. Fine. Then why did you join the LCD in the first place, if you'd rather be unemployed? No, never mind. They probably forced... Exactly. Hey, we got a distortion we can bring back. You work for us now. Forever, by the way. You get health benefits, good insurance. You work every day of the week, like everybody else. You catch on quick. First they spout this nonsense about distortions and all, then force hired me, calling me a company-owned resource. Company-owned resource. Yep, sounds about right. Yep. And the other day, they were again on about, what's his name? Golden Bow? Yes, they invited me on tour to another department to listen in on some important presentation. And I accepted. I thought it would be fine. Opportunity to broaden my perspective. Dude, dear. There are times when your commitment to duties shines brighter than the sun. I find that attitude so dazzling that I have to squint when I'm looking at you. Who knows? Maybe that's why I'm wearing this bamboo hat, to shade my eyes from your utter brilliance. Ooh. Do you mean to say that you are in need of I'm glad they get along. Do you mean to say that you need a shield to protect your eyes? Lady Ezra, might I submit to request for a pair of sunglasses for my mentor? For my mentor, only if it's not too much of an imposition on the budget, that is. That right there, that's what I keep telling you not to do. You can't just say yes to every silly thing he says and turn it into a supply request. Small expenses add up a lot. Add up to a lot, you know. You gotta save up everything you can in the piggy bank while you still can, or you'll end up broke. I think I'm starting to see the issue here. Mentor, chill guy, really good with the sword, cool guy. Ongdu, delusional. That's the problem. He's actually just crazy. Just a little bit. Is there truly no room for consideration? No means no. That is what that means. What even is this expression? She's crazy. Then pray make the purchase. Purchase for me. I shall cover the cost myself. Are you well? Mind you, Tim over here is in the back with a shocked expression because he was essentially making a backhanded compliment saying, "You're just so committed to work, and that's so cool, you know? I'm so impressed with you." Maybe that's why I wear my hat, because looking onto your dazzling commitment to the job is just too much for me. Her. I'm gonna get you some sunglasses. Can we put an order request? No, I'll buy them myself. But I was like, what is even going on at this point? No can wait, what? My poor mentor is in a state of great discomfort. He never said this, mind you. Not one time. Not once. In state of great discomfort, yet I possess neither the wisdom nor the knowledge to navigate the silver tongue of merchants in a maze of stalls to locate the very best items. So I must beg this of your must beg this favor of you. You're giving me freaking headache, girl. I am aware that you and yours are no strangers to such dealings. There is no one else I can trust to complete such a procurement with the swiftness of the wind. You know what? Never mind what I said. I'll just get you what you want. You heard the gentle lady, mentor. Your suffering shall soon be alleviated. Right. My apologies for the interrupting you in mid-conversation. Pray, continue. And you had reached the part where they invited you to tour another apartment. Is she okay? Okay. Alright. No sooner Angju's words left her lips than her eyes glinted with something I couldn't really put my finger on. It was a strange intensity that sent a chill up down my spine. Yeah, so that day I was just gonna relax here and watch some TV. Well, good on you for showing up to work today, I guess. Let's say there's a debt to be repaid, a large one. Never gonna get to repay it. Not that you're gonna die, I hope. You're just probably gonna spend the rest of your life repaying the debt. At least you understand that we are indeed indebted to the company. Yeah, I suppose I do. Kim's gaze lingered on Angju's prosthetic arms as he answered. Nah, I'm sure. I kind of forgot about that, but I'm sure, yeah. He's probably like, yeah, you know, saved me from distortion, helped my apprentice out, etc., etc. And he looks at the arms, he's like, yeah, those arms probably don't help that either. And also, I imagine a certain level of feels bad for her getting hurt and him being like, I'm not going to work today, staying home. Only after following Kim's gaze did Sinclair seem to notice Angju's brand new prosthetic arms. The last time we saw her, Angju had lost both her arms, and I remember Ezra asking her to sit tight and choose what type of prosthetic she wanted. Those arms are probably it. It's not just the arms, even her clothes are different now. I'm telling you, she's kind of fitted up. Even her clothes are different now. And that sword. I had these arms fitted anew as soon as the operation was concluded. The gracious host in one of the LCD's teams had prepared them in advance. With evident satisfaction, Angju held up her dark metallic wrists as if to showcase them. The components fixed along her arm clicked and rattled, unfolding for a moment before neatly folding back into place. Oh ho! Such a graceful smoothness, wed to machine articulation. Tis as though I am beholding the marvelous prosthetic of illustrious Siegfried himself. Yep, the showcase would have gone lackluster without the trademark reaction. Those are strikingly similar to Schwarz Industries N7 lineup, but I thought that model was discontinued. Nah, not theirs. It's one of the prototypes developed by the LCD's Phenomena deciphering team, and they put them on her for trial. Doubt you'll find another like them. They're based on technology spun from distortions. Really? Oh, I see. For a brief moment, Sinclair's eyes lit up as if he'd glimpsed something that brought him back to a memory. Then, just quickly, he fell silent, whatever he wanted to say next, stretching in his chest. Ah, Sinclair. Does something trouble you, Master Sinclair? It wasn't hard to understand what struck the tender memory of Sinclair, why it's cast a shadow over his face. But, sorry, just reminded me of something from a long time ago. My dad used to work with, oh, my dad used to work with prosthetics before he passed away. I thought this was the exact same model I saw back then. Look at the character development on my boy. The old him would have been like, sorry, don't worry about it. He still follows through. Good stuff. It appears I lack tact. These arms have stirred a painful memory within you. For that, I apologize. It's alright. I'm fine now. Sinclair's voice still carried a faint tremor, but beneath it, there was firmness that had not been there before. He really has grown a great deal. Indeed he has. You can thank yours truly for picking the sword. I was there with her. I did inform Lady Ezra that any blade that could serve as a weapon would suffice, but she insisted on browsing the goods. And I dare say, I was given the opportunity to lay my eyes on every type of sword I could ever hope to see in this life, walking through the workshop street that day. Oh please, girl, we walked for just 4 hours. That's nothing. 4 hours? But then again, sword looking, I mean, I'd probably also want to do a 4-hour walk. While everyone was distracted taking in Angdu's new outfit and equipment, Kim had quietly slipped away from the crowd and crouched down in a corner. He was rummaging through things scattered on the floor, picking them up and is he pocketing them? Anyway, what is this place supposed to be? What are all these things? It's basically a wreck now, but there are robes and that cloth background over there. Maybe it used to be a photo studio? Oh, music change. Oh, that could explain why there are so many photos stuck around the place. Probably. This definitely looks like a camera. At least, Sinclair picked up a small cylindrical object and turned it over in his hands, studying it with curiosity. What do you suppose this is? A battery? Maybe... there's some kind of strip inside. Let me just pull it out. That's Merceau. Rose shouted a sharp warning at Sinclair as if she'd realized something. But Merceau's hand shot out before she could even finish, clasping over Sinclair's wrist before the strip could be pulled out. What? What did I do? Exposure to sunlight damages these objects. I already pulled a little bit out though. It can be rewound. Careful, rotate the rigid section on the cylinder. I am currently blocking the sunlight from reaching this exposed section. Damage is of no concern. Oh, okay. You mean this one, right? This part that rotates, yep, it went back there. With a quiet nod, Marceau took the object from Sinclair's hand. It seems to be a film roll. There's something written on the outside. Experiment number 4. It appears to be a compact roll for a film camera. You seem to have handled one before. Yes. Marceau's answer came without any further explanation, but the way he adjusted the camera on the table certainly didn't look like that of a first-timer. I once received a report containing photographs taken on film cameras during the war. Film rolls used by Corp are particularly difficult to falsify. They were often used to collect intelligence during secret operations. The film fixes light directly onto the medium, for what I've heard. A peculiar expression flashed across Ezra's face as she regarded Otis. Perhaps it was the mention of war that caught her attention. Yes, because Ezra was in the war. Yes, her and Moses. Anyway, we've managed to regroup in one piece. Let's come up with a plan to deal with these distortions, guys. Where should we begin? Then, in the next breath, she returned to her usual bubbly self and steered the conversation away from the subject. Both Ezra and I, we are both still trying to be free of the misconception we inflicted on ourselves. For all her unfailingly perky disposition, Ezra, too, may be carrying traumatic memories every bit as devastating as Gregor's. Hmm. Does there yet remain aughts deserving illumination? Huh? Yeah, wait, you're right. Haven't we cleaned up the distortion already? I couldn't feel any more traces of distortions nearby, and it didn't seem like any of the other sinner teams elsewhere were actively engaged in battle at the moment either. Dante is asking whether distortion suppression has not, in fact, already been concluded. Oh, not yet. These people we fought just now, they only got caught up in the distortion. They didn't actually distort themselves. We haven't even gotten close to the distortion's inflection point yet. It makes sense. Kind of adds up. Inflection point. Uh, Anywho, finding an inflection point without the team leader around is going to take some time. Maybe it won't be too bad with your help. Ezra swept her eyes around the room with a look of frustration as though she had been handed a puzzle box with half the pieces missing. By inflection point, are you referring to the point on a graph in which the directionality of its curvature changes? Calling to mind the present context, and may less be the mathematical term and more a specialized polysemy referring to the point at which distortions occur, the motive, intent, or indeed the point at which inflection with the mind occurs. Yep, that's about right. That's the kind of inflection point I was talking about. So, in our department, we use the term to mean the source of a distortion, the inflector or cause behind it, stuff like that. You know, distortion's hard to treat if you don't know the core cause. The Treat the symptoms you can see on servers all you like, but if you never find the root cause, the distortions never get solved. Though, I guess you guys never really had to look for that kind of stuff, huh? Your boss clock opens a door into your fathoms or whatever, right? You mean Dungeon of the Fathoms? Yep, that's the one. For where we're standing, distortions are really high maintenance, time consuming headaches. It's one thing to somehow manage to locate the inflection point, but curing it is another thing. But you guys can just march straight into someone's heart, knock the snot of everything in there, and then ta-da, patient ready for discharge. That's how it works, right? Not gonna lie, I was so jealous when I heard about it. I almost bit my sleeve off. Verily, I had thought your team would set about resolving distortions once the foe was vanquished, as we are want to do. Oh my god, it's so hard to read. Was that not so? Of course not. Why would anyone come to us with a distortion suppression request if it were that simple in the first place? That's actually a really fair point. We have unironically been dealing with these things on easy mode. Actually, doubly so, because you can think about it. In Librariana, you find a bunch of distortions. Like the main villains are distortions, and we beat the crap out of them a few times. And at no point do they even get halfway near undistorting. But yeah, most of the time, people try to brute force approaches at first, and when things go south, they send requests to the company or to our detective's office. That means the client this time must have been bingo. Apparently, the residents of Butter Street had all chipped in to commission all kinds of agencies like the Zwei and the combat specialized fixer offices, but none of them could actually do things right, and the job got passed on to us. Tracks. Meaning, the distortion phenomenon related to this kind of photograph is still current, unchecked somewhere on the streets. Exactly. That's why we gotta find something. Anything that might count as a clue. Ezra gazed down at the people lying on the floor with a complicated expression. Neat, ashy gray suits, the logo on the collar of their uniform and briefcases. Hey, isn't that Encorp's logo? Come to think of it, wasn't Merceau? I was once employed by the Encorp. What? You used to work with those people? Yeah, he did mention that he used to work at Encorp. Maybe he can offer us some insight. Do you know who these guys are, Merceau? That's. Oh wait, hold on. I was about to say, oh Dante, that's not a fair question to ask. How you gonna expect Merceau to just know people at Encorp? My fault. He does know. My bad. These are NCorp Class 2 staff members. Given the camera briefcases in their possession, they are likely members of the pin-framed team of service déclus. Merceau recited the information as though he were pulling it from a file he had already sorted and placed in the back of the shelf in his mind. Okay, pin-frame team. Anything you can tell us about them? Yes. It is one of NCorp's many field departments related to information gathering and processing. Their primary duties include the handling of NCorp's internal information, analysis of NCorp's internal intelligence, the sorting and arranging of NCorp's internal information, intersector. That'd be enough. Whoa, is he talking? Is he a talking encyclopedia or something? Yeah, another thing to be jealous of. You think it'll be okay if we borrow him sometimes? Might be an issue for us if you just went and borrowed our team's encyclopedia. Real? Looks like everyone agrees that he's an encyclopedia. He is. Anyway, your encyclopedia is right. They're NCorp's pinframe team. Seen them a few times before in NCorp's nest. Well, why would people already busy enough dealing with nest fairs come all the way out to a shabby back street like this? Not got any guesses? I'm unable to determine that. Eh? The possible range of connection between the two pieces of information is exceedingly broad. Listing every relevant reason as to why they may have come here would require a considerable amount of time. Therefore, I am not present. I am not present. Therefore, I will not present a determinative answer to that question. Ezra staring holes into me with an unspoken, is this dude always like this? Wouldn't pull any answers from me, because aside from the combat situations, I've still got no way to figure out what's going on in his head. Okay then, Marcel, maybe this will be easier to answer from an objective point of view. And that was when I noticed something I'd imagined it would happen. Wait, what the fuck? He's making a not a singular expression? Marcel's eyes widened, his gaze fixing me with such force that I could almost feel the faint tremor in it. A leveling stare that came with, there is no such thing as an objective point of view. My fault. I'll stop talking, because I've never seen such a face. Oh, I'm using my touchpad instead of my mouse. I'm accidentally clicking. There's no such thing as an objective point of view, manager. A clipped tone and a look almost bordering on rebuke. A given judgment may seem infinitely close to objectivity, but ultimately, all things are subjective, without exception. I fell silent for a moment, lost in thought. Part of it was because Mersault's reaction had caught me off guard, but I also wondered whether this response might be connected to why he would always refuse to make judgments for himself. And if this has something to do with his turn, which I know is just around the corner. Got it. Then tell me three subjective reasons you think are most likely for why these people had to come all this way into the back streets. I need to understand who he actually is as much as I can. But I'll never know when I'll get another chance to really get to know him. If I if I brush this off with a simple, "Oh, I see, my fault," as usual. Yes, manager. I'd presumed that their mission was one of all the following one of all the following: retrieval of video recording or recordings in the. Hold on, try again. I would presume that their mission was one of all the following: retrieval of a video recording or recordings in violation of NCorp's taboo, prompt elimination of the violator, contact with an informant in the back streets collaborating with NCorp's nest, or identification and arrest of a wanted individual or individuals designated by the nest. Taboo? You mean these people could be taboo hunters? Nah, no way. They don't send out taboo hunters for every single violation, you know. Like, wings usually leave minor taboos violations to be handled by subcontracted fixer officers or employees of the department in charge. I say these guys here with NCorp staff. Um, Miss Angdu, what are you looking for in their pockets? I'm looking through their belongings for enlightening clues yet be hidden in the sleeve or the fold of their garments. Lady Moses has been gifted with the art of discerning the truth from what lies before her with but a single glance. Yet my eyes are foreign to such a feat. Just robbing niggas. Just let me check your pockets. What you got in there? Let me take a look too. Oh, you know what I mean? To be fair, this is good detective work, right? It's just funny that we're hanging out, you know, the centers, and then you got the LCD just being like, you know what? Let's just start swiping and grabbing. We take a look too. This is an employee card, and okay, this is one's wallet, so let's put that back. We don't want to be robbers. Ah, this might be it. It's an order missive. As I pulled a sheet of paper out from the NCorp staff's coat and read its contents aloud. Work details. Elimination of the individual of a Category 3 taboo violation. Address: Butter Street. This is place. Which means all of this might be pointing to something. Whoever used to work in the studio in the distortion phenomenon might be connected. Yeah, now that you mention it, when the whole pop and change thing happened, it did kind of feel like a camouflage. Alright, let's start by combing through this place. Let me know if you find anything suspicious. At long last, hath the hour arrived for my debut as a detective for soup? Don't care if they must have been miffed for not getting to play detectives back in T-Corp. No idea where she'd been keeping them, but she immediately pulled out the detective props that she'd been given to Rhodia Roshu and Honglu back then. Verily, I had foreseen that the day would come. Fortunately, Wallace wasted no time putting an end to Diokio's badly timed shenanigan. A sharp dressing down from her was enough to make our dejected, chivalric adventurers stuff the custom away. Okay, then we should get moving too. And just like that, we're done with another thing. Some of these nodes are so long. Our first fighting node. It's not a lot of stuff though. I mean, well, alright. There shouldn't be two. Wait. Oh, wait. These are the guys who aren't with us. Okay. Oh, I see what they did. You can only bring the blade lineage with you. Let me guess. It's 7. It is. Of course it is. Alright, fine. I'll upgrade you to full. do like that many of that. Let's get to 40. Damn, that's a lot. All right, the rest. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be able to use you guys for just a little bit longer anyhow. Though I feel like if they're gonna be doing stuff like this and making old teams viable again, they should totally do that with Corp if that's an option. Actually, you know what? Well, yeah, Corp IDs. I feel like they should get a buff of some form. With the nails thing. Anyway, let's make sure the lighting could be
거점을 두지.
here.
피가
출정이군요. 출정이
잠시 이것만 상기.
고래를
망설이.
태어내겠습니다.
That's exactly 7. Alright, let's check these egos. Egos look pretty on point. No major changes need to be made. So, well, let me see. Yeah, I guess this is better. Yeah, it should be fine.
가스 점화 엔진 시동.
We spent a long time rifling through the photo studio with the LCD team, but no one found any decisive evidence. There sure are a lot of photos around, but almost all of them are just pictures of buildings, nothing much to tell from that. Aside from the canister containing the film rolls Sinclair pulled up, there are no remaining items here that can count as proper clue. Executive Manager, I've confirmed that the rest are all empty plastic canisters. Then it's probably best to check the contents of the film roll directly. Yes, Executive Manager, I will find a way to develop the film. Did you guys find any sort of photo development room or equipment nearby? Let's search a little more before we see what's in the film roll. Mentor, what do you make of this object? For the 8th time, Angadu, I have no idea. If I had wits bright enough to understand all that lies before me with a single glance, like the team leader, I would have passed the royal examinations long ago and secured myself a lucrative position as a court official. An S-corp of sort. Of course. But Mentor, hadn't you already passed the royal? Once swung, a sword does not retrace its arc on you. So it is with life. There's no undoing what has already been cut. Oh. So you'd be waxing poetical like a good swordsman? Okay. A good master, if you will. Thus, it is unnecessary to dwell on what can no longer be undone. There is no after what has been slashed away. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I understood. Have you already passed away? Already passed? So wait. They say after. Interesting. Okay. Not for you, Mentor. You not dwell on what can no longer be undone? Talk about her arts? Where are we going with this? I misspoke. I did not mean it that way, Amdu. I really meant to say that I do not wish to recall my past. I'm aware you have told me as much since long ago, whenever you were placed in a position to retrace the past. Mostly at the eateries where you filled your belly on unpaid tabs. And each time you brought down the stone wall before our house by your own erring hand. Those are exactly the kinds of things you should never forget. Ow, my belly. I feel stabbing pain in my belly. This spot. Oh, the very wound you once gave me afflicts me yet. The one from when you thought you were only poking me with the scabbard, yet by some cool turn, it was the sword that ran me through. Actually, sick behavior. Mentor, you said it was completely healed and that I need not concern myself with it. Those very same words have been repeated at least 80 times. But it still aches every now and then. Chiefly when I hear hear your sharp, cutting words that I really don't want to hear. Is that so? Andu suddenly pulled out a sheet of paper and began furiously. Oh my god. What's this? I have written down the words that I've just said. Alright. Andu, are you okay? If hearing my sharp cutting words afflicts you so, perhaps reading them instead can cause no suffering. The gently done got attached weapon insane person. Kim's face began to contort like a wet dish towel being wrung dry. I really can't believe this is the same mentor Ongdu follows so devoutly. Where's all the dignity and forbearance Ongdu said he had? Honestly, I blame Ongdu. It seems like Ongdu's low-key kind of crazy. She just be doing whatever. He says, I can't hear these words. She writes them down. What are you doing, Ongdu? Please. Young Ongdu. There's a matter I would ask thee. Apparently, I was the only one who felt that with pray, speak freely. This may perhaps be a discourteous inquiry, but I too, when speaking to the others of those whom I serve, often ornament my words with a laudation of acceptable degree. And yet, I understand your concern, Lady Quixote. I suppose this is your first time seeing Mentor with his shoulders so unbraced, his bearing so loose. In truth, when I first beheld him, I also wondered whether such a man could truly be a leader worth placing my faith in. However, upon my honor, I assure you that I have never once uttered a falsehood when I spoke of him to you. My respect towards the blades of my own and foes alike, my determination to safeguard what must be protected, even should my arms be torn apart, all these are undoubtedly the teachings that my mentor has imparted onto me. Truly? Why, if fortune should grant the opportunity, you may witness Mentor's true self yourselves someday. That is to say, if we let ourselves be carried by the currents of the river to have such a chance. Ongdu gave her prosthetic arms a casual sweep, smiling sincerely as though she truly believed every word she said. Then, leaning closer to Don Quixote, she whispered, Besides, unless I speak with this feigned stern ignorance, there will be no end to his digging in his heels. I had asked for your trust, for all is aimed at his benefit. Hold on. So, besides, unless I speak with this feigned stern ignorance, there will be no end to his. Oh, I guess I understand. Essentially, she's not stupid. She understands that he's just a lazy bastard to a certain degree. He is capable. He's also a lazy fuck. So he purposefully acts dense to the things he says when he's basically implying that she'd be doing too much and he just wants to be chill and doesn't want to be harassed. So she just pretends like she's too dense to not to understand that what he's trying to hint at, and instead harasses him, which kind of forces him to fix himself instead of making her fix herself, quote unquote. You know what, Ongdu? Maybe I was being too hard on you. But forsooth, thou too hast been burdened with the trials of serving your superior. So that's what it was. I get it now. Okay. Oh! Just as I witnessed the budding of this peculiar bond of conversation and camaraderie between our chivalric friends, the door leading outside was flung open with a loud slam. We have arrived at the target location. It appears that the advance party has already been defeated. Wait, Who are these people? Didn't they say there was only a single violator? Oh crap. Looks like it's too late to talk our way out of this. What excuses we come up with? Sigh. Oh boy, this is not gonna go well. The same thing happened last time when I saw the Corp in place. I thought we had the wrong intel, and all of a sudden, a sudden flash blinded my vision. Why? As though I had stared straight into a burst of searing light, so intense and bright that it made my head swim. Yeah, there was this same pop, and with my vision blinded, the only thing I could make out was Ezra's soft murmur, until even that came to stop as her breathing hushed. What the fuck? Oh? It didn't take long for me to realize what was happening. Seeing it again doesn't exactly warm the heart. Wouldn't you say, Ongdu? Though, Corp may indeed be passing through hard times, this alley was not quite so wretched in form, was it, Mentor? Is that right? Looks much the same to me. This place. Did we just get teleported to Escort? No, don't say. Though it generates a considerable sense of verisimilitude. This is. I think I know what this is. This is a presence. I haven't been able to detect it until just now, but somehow it was now surrounding us, saturating every corner of the space where we stood. The dreary stone walls, trees bent and coiled in grotesque forms, a sheen of light, even the air we breathe, all of them point towards a single phenomenon. This is the depth of the fathoms. Fathoms made entirely out of distortion. There are completely different distortions where the Corp employees were just a moment ago. Executive manager, that's exactly it. This is what I mean, what I was trying to explain. Oh, this is weird. Ew. Where Ezra pointed, the people in smart, neat suits had vanished, and in their presence, figures clad in blood-stained dopo robes were approaching us with dragging, uneasy steps. Right, let's fight first and talk later. Ready, Ongdu? Leia's pointed to strike Lady Ezra. And wait, what's Bambu dude? I'm afraid he has already taken his leave. He said he had no desire to cross blades with the Chukons of S-Corp twice. Come on, man, not again. He's a repeat offender, that's for certain. Executive manager. Wherever Kim's gone off to, this definitely isn't the time to be asking trivial questions. Alright, let's do what Ezra says and get ready for battle. On your orders. Not this dude. Bro's notorious. He's like, I don't want to work. Fighting certain people is not the wave. Got a lot going on. I should probably change our announcer. Alright. Let's just do a little reading. Though I doubt these guys have anything too crazy going on. Let's play memory. Gain by next turn. Flash power. Deal more damage for more bind. Clash win. Gain poise for every evolution. Gain 2 boosts for every stack. Plays once at max stack. Gain +1 bleed count. Basically, it's not bad. What? I even forgot Ezra's here. House, please. Thank you. Jeez. About to piss me off. Please. Oh my god. Please. And you lose. What's with you people and losing? Good free damage. Well, okay free damage. This isn't really greatest. But we're still building up. Well, I see no reason not to just go ahead and use it, right? Yeah. You beat that. You beat this. I need you to start winning some clashes. You definitely will win this.
망설임이 없도록.
Good damage. Wonderful damage. That's a kill right there. Love that. Thank you, Ishmael.
담겨있지. 자세에 틀림은 없군.
Damn. Yes.
숨을 거두리라.
Good damage. And good SP gain. Ah, just wonderful.
그중 제일 뛰어난 게 검이었고.
Looks different now, right? Yep. This is such a cool touch. Please. What are you people doing? Are you what's the point? What are we doing? Some of you just make me angry.
우와, 지금 완전 삼촌들이랑 고모대 같았어.
침착한 결과입니다.
Generally just over here wasting my time. You're supposed to be winning clashes, young man. Winning.
망설임이 없도록.
Also, I might switch out Captain Ahab.
혈이 난자.
Damn, that's a big damage number.
배워냈어요.
그냥 5배.
But I'm not sure which Ishmael I'll bring instead. Oh, I thought you were gonna win that actually.
저놈을 추적해.
Good damage though. That's some good stuff. Now, if only their mentor would, I don't know, win a clash or something, that'd be great. Let's see, you hit that. You can win this. Guess you could take this too. Let's see. Here we go. Finally. Nice.
이제 수에선 벗어났나?
혈이 난자오.
1, 2. All right.
무파법을 이제야 좀 이해해.
Good stuff. Nice.
선원들, 나를 보호해라. 무분조토.
Wait, doesn't this
역시
clash worse
물가지를
now?
분질러야 조용해지.
Oh, really?
저
Okay.
거지 같은 새끼.
Well, we'll have you guys attack who's left. Though I suspect everybody's gonna die this turn.
즐겁겠군.
Oh no, I lost.
달빛이
Hehehehe.
그 문까지 갈지 나를 더.
Not bad, not bad.
아름다운 것. 그렇지.
Wait, I don't think anybody killed that guy though. We'll go to another turn, right? Yep.
어릴 땐 몰랐어.
즐겁겠군.
우리 엄마가
There we go.
삼촌들이랑 말도 못 섞게 했는데
온. 하지만
그
슬슬
외부
몰리는
강사들
You can skip ahead. We're at the. Oh. That should be all of them. Surveying the area with measured alert, Angdu cast the blood from her sword with a with a few sharp flicks before sliding it into its sheath. Huh. They're not changing back. It doesn't look like being up the distorted ones reverts them immediately this time around. Perhaps a fortunate turn of events. In a way, let's search for clues while time allows us. Right. You take that side, Angdu. I'll search here. Ezra and Angdu moved about as though they were used to this kind of situation, without even taking a moment to catch their breath. After the battle, they began searching the space. Freely, Don Quixote was the one to voice her doubt in the surreal, unfamiliar situation we found ourselves in. We battled distortions upon our arrival hither, yet never before have I beheld our surroundings change with so sudden a flash. Really, I cannot make sense of the situation. Couldst thou render a detailed account of this distortion phenomenon? Apologies. It would appear I overlooked the briefing due to urgency of this predicament. This is, according to the definition presented by Lady Moses, a location type distortion. It's basically when a whole space distorts. In this place, and since places and buildings can't move on their own, the distortion gets fixed in a certain space. As for this one, it looks like the distortion's already progressed pretty far along. Middle stage, probably. They don't usually get this big, but this one here is covering almost an entire street. Then those people, they entered this space and got caught up in it. And our job right now is to get to the bottom of the phenomenon. What exactly gets people caught up and what happens to them once they're in? Of course, we can't really rule out the possibility of a powerful distortion that's encroaching upon its environment. Oh, by the way, by that I mean when a distortion bleeds into the space around it and warps it. Interesting. Oh man, I'm actually talking like our team leader. Rubbed off on me, I guess. As we're continuing with this sheepish giggle. In any case, we won't be able to suppress or cure the distortion even if we whoop these guys' asses 100 times. We need more clues to help us locate the inflection point. Maybe we would examine these people over here too. What they call, Ezra directed our attention to rows of collapsed people all around, all of them clad in dopo robes. And these are the glyph emblazoned upon their headbands. Chu bespeaks propulsion and pursuit, and marks them as Chu Unokans, functionaries charged with scouring, and hunting runaway newbies. What? You hail from the homeland as we do. I am surprised that you know of them. I could hardly fail to know, for I, too, was once enumerated among their query, scientists and technicians were daily being of their station, disposed, dispossessed of their stations in S Corp after all. So it was no ideal tale. Scientists who ply their craft without fattening S Corp's coffers are seized forthwith and made nobis of the corporation. Indeed, I count myself fortunate to have absconded with my friends before the brand of Nobi could be impressed upon us otherwise. Nobi, the wretched appellation conf- conferred upon the people for the convenience of those in power, a vile practice, an excuse of their power mongering. Furthermore, the so-called taboo hunters of S Corp operate by such that same anatomy. Does the breaching of taboo summon the hunter, or does the hunter first seize his prey to thereafter frame the captured with invented transgression? If the powerful so desire to chase a man down, to take possession of his very being and keep him caged, when they need only decree that he when then they need only decree that he should bear the lot of a nobi. Such is what S Corp has become today. My mentor, too, is one of the victims of that accursed practice. Then, could these people have been sent out to capture your mentor, or Yiseng? Or me, perhaps? Or none of us? You mean to state that they may be conceptual forms of Chikon's generation by distortion? That is a plausible conjecture. We are getting nowhere with this clue hunting. With a heavy sigh, Otis pressed her fingers against her brow as if her head were starting to pound in frustration. To delve further into the matter, it is necessary to determine why the S Corp and its Chacons have appeared as the motif of this phenomenon. Considering the course of considering the course of events we have been seeing so far, would it not stand to reason that the distortion stains all nearby things with the memories most foul? The presence of Chacons suggests a possible correspondence to Yi Sing's memories. Conversely, however, the absence of T Corp's time collectors weakens that hypothesis. In which case, the most plausible theory is that this particular distortion could have stemmed from Bamboo Hide Kim or Ongdu's memories. Ongdu furrowed her brow and fell into thought, as though she could grasp the full picture of the problem. I've seen a few distortions that show trauma or affect their surroundings, but this one, I'm not getting that drop of inspiration. Can't even guess at what this distortion wants either. Perfect wording. The white flash of light soundly drowned my vision again as Ezra clutched her head and cried out with annoyance. Ugh, if only the team leader was here, cracking this would have been a piece of cake. And we're back. So this is why you kept asking whether we'd seen anything bursting at the top. The N-Corp employees must have a rough too, being dragged into a distortion like this. I mean, what else were we supposed to do? It was self-defense. They were about to attack us. This is true. I suppose finding the root cause and taking care of it would be the fastest way forward. Let's just do what we can for now. Okay, first, we need to develop the film we found here. We'll head to the nearest dark room and... Not actually, let's first drag the slippery hat wearing Colt back here and get him talking about the Chicans. That's probably our best bet. Every time we take a job, that slacker just flips off without telling anyone. As one part of me watched Ezra stamp her feet in frustration, I was also carefully following Heathcliff's team through the other part of my vision. So, I think we can help with that. Have you located him? Huh? What? Boss Clock found something? Yep, I found where the Bamboo Hide Kim is right now. Ah, the rest of our team. It's about time.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있었다.
How do you
정착지를
complete
찾을
section 1?
때까지 이
Gets to do
기세를 잃지
more.
않기를.
More of these guys. All right. Oh, we're getting back with the rest of the team. Okay. I don't want to use this Ishmael. You're a bleed ID, right? Yeah. I have a lot of bleed going on. I don't want to use you because you're kind of annoying to deal with. Maybe we'll bring you instead. Like, I don't want to have a poise through line. Maybe you? You have poise, right? Yeah. I'll bring you. And the rest of you can stay as you are. But I'll bring you guys as well. Yeah, like this.
이번 의뢰는 몇 번?
잠시 같이 걸을.
잠깐.
어디서?
Also, what do you have? No, I did. Oh, I'm not using that.
착수.
Hella old and got no updates, which means we're fried. Well, you're fried. Meanwhile, Hiko's team. Bloody hell, what's up with these kids? They're showing up out of nowhere. How should I know? But judging by their getup, they seem like escort fellas. And things were going so well, we could have talked it out with those fedora guys who were rummaging around the place earlier, you know. But no, you just had to go barking at them first. Would have saved us a whole lot of trouble if you hadn't, right? Oh, so it's my fault? Those bastards look like they were nicking stuff. This is our contract area, ain't it? If they walked off with something important, we'd be the ones catching hell. This is true. Listen, bud, not everyone's itching to swipe the hair was into their pockets the second they get the chance. Oh, for it. How many blade months are you not gonna milk that? Excuse me. What, you got a problem too, mate? No, not at all. Just wondering whether the gentleman over there is also one of our enemies. Is that the end of your trope performance? Shame. I was really enjoying enjoying watching you folks dance. Might have mistaken the place for peach blossom land of legends, and there have been a couple of fine rice wine to go with it. Yeah, that's an enemy, alright. He has a name tag though. I think it says LCD? LCD or whatever. Who gives a toss? I'm supposed to put up with every bastard having a dig at me. Oh dear. Such bold swings. Didn't know there was an encore to have to that performance. You slippery little rat. Well, I do find this amusing enough, but if you intend to play with me, you ought to be more aware of your surroundings. Hey, behind you, there's... Wow, he took out all of those dopo-wearing people with just a single stroke. Damn. Disgusting. See, I knew he was nasty with the blade. Bro just knocked down mad people. One what? I say that about covers the price of admittance to your troop circus, wouldn't you? Well then, I'll leave the rest to you folks. Wandering blades and Morum tales never linger on stage for long after. Oh wait, where the hell do you think you're going? Damn it. I guess we're all gonna link up. Oh, I see. We got teleported here. Got it. Let's see. Let's do it like this, like that. This, like that. And then see if you can just beat up this guy. Please. Oh wow, she actually won. I thought she was about to fail. please. Thank you. Oh, so our people didn't even get over there. We're just kind of sending them out. Gotcha. Nice. Oh, so there probably is going to be a thing where, in the next story thing, probably Kim's gonna be like, "How are they over here?" And then everybody else is gonna be like, "Oh, that must be Dante. I suppose he's watching us or whatever." Blah 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 blah. I'm tracking. Actually doubly explains why no one, why Ezra and Ongdu aren't here. 'Cause, oh, I thought they would be here, maybe like remember to Kim, but no, we're using our photos. Bruh.
자세에 틀림은 없군.
Like this, like that, this. You could do this. Let's do it like this, but we'll probably end up using our ego next turn. Oh my god. You know, it just occurs to me what these guys are. Well, what Honglu's ID is. So I guess he doesn't go in the Blade Legionnaires team, kind of. He gives you just a Poise ID. Or maybe a Bleed ID? Regardless. Come on. Thank you. Thank you.
어중간한
Whoa.
연민이 이런 불필요한 고통을 가져오는 거야. 목숨을 거두려
Okay.
했다면 머리를 베었어야지.
Intelligence gathering when using a skill or identical rank to the skill photograph. Clash power -5. Oh, these guys are actually kind of strong. On triggering bursts, raise target stagger threshold by pitting nail. Gain offense level down. Okay. And their poise IDs at that. Or rather, poise enemies is what I mean. Okay. See what you call that guy. Like this. Good stuff. Good damage. Great damage even. It's always the second coin. Good damage. Do we get a kill? Four for war? 1, 2. Ah, not quite.
법을 이제야 좀 이해했군.
do that to you. You could probably kill him if you crit. Hopefully you do. And you top kill that guy, and then you're weak to slash? Yes. But you can help too, just to be sure. Expecting good damage off this one. Maybe a one-hit killer? Not even close.
우와, 지금 완전 삼촌들이랑 고무대 같았어.
이제 싱 수에선 벗어났나?
Good stuff. Not bad.
마음 둘 안.
Same thing
아구들도
again.
이런 식이야.
You follow up.
지금 내킬 때만 잘해줬지.
You can kill that. Probably do more than like that. You can kill him. Well, no, you can kill him. Oh, wait. Perfect, actually. Pick one. But that means everybody dies. This turn. That's a kill. One. Good kill. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh. Cool little thing they got going on. Let's just double up, triple up even. All right, it's over. That's a kill. All right. It's close, but well, this should do it. And then one more. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, really?
아마도 이런 날이었을 거야. 나보다 먼저 엄마가 집에 돌아오는 날.
Whew,
학교
that was
마치고 집에
powerful.
돌아왔을 때 문 너머에
So, let me get this straight. Dude was here just a minute ago, and now nobody knows where he has wandered off to. Nope. Yeah, Posters turned up nowhere, flapped his gums, then did a runner before anyone could grab him. Ezra let out a long, listless sigh, as though she was getting sick and tired of even complaining about Kim. Lady Ezra, I cannot say your frustration is misplaced. I trust you are also aware that more often than not, Mentor's actions have carried a profound design. He has never left his post without purpose so far. No, I get it, okay? But come on, would it kill him to give us a heads up before he goes zooming off on his own again? You know what, that would explain, because didn't they say he was picking up stuff earlier? It's not like we'd stop him. What are we gonna do? Tie him up? Lock him up in a closet? We don't do that in our team, right? Remember last time we all thought he was being a good patient and sleeping it off in the recovery ward, but nope. When LCE got infiltrated, he snuck out without telling anyone and came back like nothing happened. And T Leader didn't even chew him out for it. Oopsie, wasn't supposed to mention that, was I? Oh? Then the reason he failed to participate in the operation was simply because the LCD was lax in supervising his personnel? Oh boy. Super personnel? Is that what you're suggesting? Lady Moses bade us hold our tongues for this very reason. She knew full well Mentor's intentions would be misunderstood in precisely such a manner. What part of this have I misunderstood? Did you not just disclose the man deserted his post without authorization? That's the thing. He wasn't wandering around. He was outside all alone, taking down the rank automations who'd locked down the elevator that leads into the LCE department. Yeah, it's not like he was dealing with the strongest enemies out there, but the recovery ward didn't have an emergency alarm and nobody from the department was there to warn him either. He somehow just caught on and did the job himself. Yeah. Heard it's all thanks to him that the facilities team managed to get the comms back up and contact the LCE chief dude way faster, and that helped the LCA actually deploy. They would have been delayed for another hour or two if he hadn't stepped in, apparently. And he went fine even though he still wasn't fully recovered. So he came back looking like he'd been processed through a meat grinder. So yeah, he did end up staying in bed like a good patient, in a lot of pain. Then the soldier is not entirely deserving of reproach. Nope, he's a less talking, more doing type, I guess. Anyway, we were all stuck inside the building back then during the incident, so fine, I suppose there was no helping it. Today, though, never mind. It's always like this with him. He's always slips away and pops back in, saying, "It's done." Okay. It's actually very funny. I can see how this could be annoying, but also sometimes it's kind of like, I guess you gotta just trust his process, I guess. My point is, what happens if one day one of those solo missions doesn't go his way, and he just drops dead in the streets somewhere? How are we supposed to help him then? Actually, how does he even know what's supposed to be done in the first place when nobody gave him any instructions? Folks got to be relying on his gut feeling in it. Gut feeling? Look, I only saw the bloke for a bit, so I can't say I've got him all figured out. He's an annoying bastard, but he didn't strike me as some clueless sod who doesn't know where he's stepping. Heathcliff scratched his chin, then kept talking as though he was stating an obvious fact. Today's proof enough. He's not one of us, so Clonka could have just reached. He's not one of us, so Clonka could have reached him from that far to set him to back us up. Hold on. He's not one of us, so Clonka couldn't have reached him from that far to send him to back us up. And there's no way he just happened to run into us just when we were about to get into battle. And then, well, could be bloke's got some stupidly sharp head on him and pieced things together. Could be that. But I've got these moments when I get a flash of that gut feeling. However, you want to call it, my boss man, Matthew, said he could hear that kind of shit too. Oh. Hold on. Did I skip 2? Oh shit. Oh no, this is the one I'm reading right now. Okay. Could hear that kind of shit too. Said, I can hear them gears turning, or I think I hear rats scurrying about. You do things you couldn't make heads or tails of. Listen, there was this one time when we were expecting a life or death battle. Matthew says he can hear them gears turning, walks into a random pub, starts throwing back drinks like he'd lost his bloody mind. Huh? That does sound like someone who'd lost his bloody mind. Back when I was on the ship, some sailors used to drink the barrel dry before battling whales to blunt their fear, only to stumble around on the deck and fall overboard. Yeah, boss could knock it back like a whale. Still, the point is getting plastered right before a turf's wars, not what most sane people would call a good idea. Had us all cross, so we went stomping after him. And guess what? Turns out that pub was the secret hideout where the opposing syndicate was holed up. They were crowding around the gaffer, running their mouths about how they'll kill him and put an end to the dead rabbits. That's when we came storming in and had them surrounded instead. Not a single one of them got away. Beat him to a bloody everlast bastard. And boss knew it'd play out that way. Sorry, but this really sounds like a bar stool bragging to me. You sure that wasn't just a coincidence? I should think it was no mere chance. If you are saying as much, then surely this was but one among many such coincidences. Is that so? Yeah, every time Matthew pulled one of those stunts, our line ended up growing bigger. Wouldn't have kept working so neatly if it were just coincidence. It is likely what is often referred to as indeed an instinctive sense or experience-based precognition, more more accurately, an unconscious process by which information accumulated in the subconscious is sorted and converted into sensible conclusions. There have been some extremely rare cases in which Heathcliff, extremely rare, why do you have to put emphasis on extremely? In which Heathcliff has demonstrated the ability to arrive at coherent conclusions that surprise even Faust. On further analysis, it would appear that he was employing a mechanism similar to a sixth sense, as some people call it. Is that a compliment, or are you taking the piss out of me? Though my mentor does not see fit to explain each step he takes, when all has passed, I often find that no footfall of his was taken in vain. I would ask of you, grant him but a little time and wait. Keep waiting, and the shape of his intent may yet become clear. Though, I confess, I have also been concerned about him as of late. His recent silence is far heavier than what I've noticed in the past. To wait. Don Quixote hesitated, then stopped herself from saying more. She only gave a quiet nod. Yeah, okay. I suppose our team leader has her own reasons for letting him be. That said, doesn't mean I'm happy about it. Let's return to the task at hand. Do what we can for now. Fine, fine. As the others quieted down, I finally had room to notice the place we found ourselves in. It's a dark room. I didn't even realize. There wasn't a single ray of light. There's a deep red hue pressing in from every side. I can't believe we've been chatting away in the dark this whole time, fellas. And the red lights aren't helping at all, especially with my aging eyes. Oh, are you looking for the light switch? It's right here. And then, right then, don't turn on the light. Urged Marceau. Clipped warning, his voice coming from a corner I didn't expect to find. Marceau? Where are you? Ah, there he is. According he is watching something? I'm developing the film roll, Major. Exposure to light might ruin the entire roll. Please exercise caution. So he'd been doing his own thing. That explains why he was quiet all along. Huh. Didn't think you'd know how to print photographs, pal. What's that for, anyway? You expressed the wish to have the film developed, Manager. I am carrying out that instruction. I see. A photo studio first, and now a darkroom. This may be no more conjecture, but it would not be unreasonable to suppose that the axis of this distortion rests upon a photographer. The film's serial numbers either match those found in the photo studio or deviate by only a single digit. It is certain that this darkroom is connected to the studio in some way. The images bear a striking resemblance to these photographs. I also believe this building and the photo studio share a strong connection. Oh, where do you get these photos? Brought them from the photo studio. I cannot name the locations in this picture with certainty, yet they all appear to have been taken at various places in Corp's district. Those buildings, mostly. Hey, wait. I know what these are. People are taking pictures like these when supplying stuff to that department store. Correct. The photos must have been taken by a docugrapher. Marceau chimed in, holding up an odd cylindrical container in his hand this time. He gave the container a shake every now and then, and with a measured rhythm. Whatever he was doing seemed to be part of the process of developing the film. Film rolls are hardly affordable for the average resident at Corp. In most cases, taking photographs is done as part of a professional duties. There are approximately 21 occupations in District 14 that utilize photography. However, only a single profession involves routinely photographing photographing specific buildings, adhering to fixed standards that can be observed in these pictures. And these docugraphers you mentioned are the people entrusted with are the people entrusted with that job? Yes. They photograph the information to be poured into canned experience. A docugrapher, how could a person with such decently lucrative profession fall into distortion? Decent job, maybe, but how do we know if they're a decent person? A good point. Ezra replied with a clear-cut answer after only a brief pause. What makes you say that? The photo studio we were at didn't have any dark rooms, right? No, it didn't. My team leader said there are other ways of processing film rolls, but in Corp, you have to go to a dark room to develop and print them. Correct. Film rolls are usually immersed in developer solution to be processed. Which is why photo studios have these dark rooms equipped with red safe lights right next to them. But this place is pretty far from the photo studio. Huh, yeah, now that you mention it, check out these windows. They're only covered by newspapers, all messy like. If you consider how sensitive film rolls are to light, it's really super suspicious that their darkroom doesn't have any proper blackout panels. And you know, films can cost a fortune in some places in the city, right? Who in their right mind would print photos in a room patched up with yesterday's newspaper? Oh, this probably isn't even a legit darkroom. Someone just hauled in the bare minimum tools needed to develop film and threw them together in a hurry. Someone who didn't want to be seen printing photos, and people don't usually avoid scrutiny unless they're doing something not so decent. Uh, Detectives are detectiving. If that's the case, then I can see why they might have distorted. Right? Manager. Marcel came to my side quietly, still giving the strange cylinder an occasional shake. I have a request regarding your instruction to develop this film roll. What is it? Please ensure that the light in this room is not turned on until development is complete. Uh, are we already doing that? Yes. However, engaging in battle opens the door to uncontrollable variables. This is why I have judged it necessary to make a separate request. Battle. There is no need for concern. I am capable of participating in battle while maintaining the development process. Wait, can you slow down? A battle, you say? Surely there must be cause for you to believe so. At the full studio, reinforcements arrived exactly 11 minutes and 34 seconds after N-Corp's pinframe staff were defeated. Deduction based on that in the events thus far make it clear that the photo studio and this darkroom share some kind of connection. Furthermore, Senator Heathcliff, Senator Honglu, and Senator Gregor have battled N-Corp's pinframe team in this very location. I hear footsteps rushing up the stairs, approaching closer and closer. I have a feeling I know what Marceau is getting at. I ask anyway. Meaning, the initial rinse is finished. The process is now halfway in completion of second agitation. This indicates that 11 minutes and 30 seconds have elapsed since the start of development. A battle is imminent. Please withdraw to safe position, manager. Marceau, you should have warned us of wait earlier. I just said manager. I will follow that instruction going forward. This guy.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있었다.
Oh, another reading one. Alright, I think this will be our last one.
잃지 않기를.
Last one for today. I really want that Ongdu ID, but I guess I'll just wait for it to come out on Wednesday. Today is Monday after all. After the battle, something sits ill with me. Amid the sprawl of S-Corp's back streets, the story with the flash, Ongdu had her gaze fixed somewhere high overhead. and at the end of her gaze, are those photographs? Y'all didn't notice these? A long line stretched across the open air, photographs hanging from it like laundry clipped to a clothesline. I mistook it for a Pomjou warding group at first and gave it a little attention. Yet upon closer look, I saw those pictures hanging from the line. Perhaps they had been strung within the darkroom and remained thus when the distortion took hold. Bizarre. Observation of unaffected elements in the space occupied by a location type distortion is mostly regular. Indeed, the items we bore from the studio have already changed into images of various sites of S Corp, yet these alone remain as they were. Let's take them down and check them ourselves. Just as I was wondering if the line was perhaps too high for me to reach, Marcel stepped forward and plucked a few photographs off it. The instant he brought them to me, we heard another pop, and again a brief white flash blinded my vision for a moment. Good grief, this distortion likes to change its mind, huh? Keep switching between S Corp and N Corp. This feels like getting caught in a flashbang detonation. The whole body tenses up, then goes slack right after. The other students were busy grumbling about distortion and sudden jumps, except for Marcel, who stood right in front of me with photos still held out in his hand. Oh, you didn't drop them? No? He gave his usual short answer, then returned his touch to the cylinder he had been shaking. He took the film out of the container and flicked the liquid off with clean, controlled motion. Is the processing finally done? Wait, we're back in here with the lights on? Is it okay to take the film out? Yes, exposure to light will not damage the film once development is complete, and the image is fixed. There's no cause for concern. That's a relief. I couldn't say I followed all the technical details, but no cause for concern was all I needed to hear. Sighing in relief, I held up the photograph so I could take a proper look. So, see anything odd in there, Manager Bud? There are people in them. Yeah, these look very normal. The people in the photographs are all looked different from one another. If I had picked one similarity between them, though, they all look cold and indifferent. Yeah, that's the city, alright. Ordinary folks you'd see anywhere. These aren't like the photos we picked up at the studio earlier. Are these kind of photographs they use to make canned experiences? What was that? Scenery around us seemed to rip over just now. I was about to ask Boss if she'd also felt a strange sensation, but it faded away it faded away soon enough. Perhaps it's nothing serious. It is. Maybe it was just a spell of random vertigo. It wasn't. Is it even possible to get dizzy when I have a Glock for a head? Probably. No. Marceau must have noticed that I was out of sorts for a moment, because he seemed to pause on purpose before answering my question. No? I thought you said docugraphers take these photographs to put in canned experiences. Raw ingredients for canned experiences are handled exclusively by the Grand Magasin Sisfi, which is no known method for external parties to access them. Sisfi, what? Oh, I think I've heard of it. Kid experiences, right? Been high demand in other districts too, but the only brand stamped on them is Grand Magasin Sisfi. Same name every time. I remember some of my classmates bragging about trying them whenever exam weeks came around. Never had one myself. I can't really explain it, but something about them just feels kind of wrong. It's that popular, huh? The unprocessed base content of the canned experience, known as experience batter, is supplied to reprocessing factories where docugraphers fine-tune the experience's details. Photographs are primarily used for that purpose. They can fine-tune experience. An easier example for understanding would be to consider why docugraphers take pictures of subjects such as buildings. A purchaser may wish to experience living in a luxurious building that they could never afford. Another way to vent out impulses of violence by experiencing the burning of an expensive property. Demand for haughty torture can experience is increasing by day. So that's why the photos from earlier were all fancy buildings. Yes, manager. Conversely, information concerning ordinary experience that can be easily encountered in reality is in low demand. Then why photograph these residents at all? Perhaps these were not made images harvested for their commodity value, but pure photography in and of itself. Mayhap they have been captured for a desire to seize a vanishing seize a vanishing instant through a lens. There are people who take photographs knowing that it would cost an exorbitant sum. I haven't I have seen some before. A staggering amount of money just to take a single photo. That is, if they could even manage to find a photographer who would take the risk and help to take the picture. I'm not so crass as to put a price on sentiment and nostalgia, but spending this much money on film rolls, what could have made this investment worth it? I'd say maybe this isn't just a matter of sentiments or memories, even. Leafing through the photographs, I quietly expressed my thoughts. Executive manager? I'm not exactly an authority on distortions, but I know they manifest through desires or emotions that become warped in bizarre ways. That everything the distortion has shown us for so far points back to S Corp. That is, the S Corp from a past that only Kim and Ongdu would have seen and remembered. These photos, though, they're completely untouched by distortion. Doesn't that feel off? There must be strong fixation to at play here, strong enough to slip past even a distortion. If that obsession is something that refuses to let these memories be influenced, I think our next step should be to look for the people in these photos. These photographs are the only undistorted and altered clues we have. Dante says it would be advisable to locate the people shown in these photographs. Okay, good idea. Celia did say that we could accept input from LCB with open arms. Hey Ongdu, can you get me to the office catalog? We'll probably need to commission an office affiliated with Seven Association. Let's look for one that can take a request right away. Can someone tell Ezra we're fine? I think I know where to find those people. Tanya says one of the people shown in the photos has already been found. What? When? How? Well, I guess I'm just having a lucky day. Pulled the radio from his waist and switched it on without answering Ezra's question. DWRC. Don't worry. Uh-huh. Oh. It could be anything. I think she said Dewey Group Clock. That one was especially hard to understand, Ryoshi. Yeah, I had no shot. Rodeo's with you, right? Can you put her on? Okay. You there? What? Dante wants to talk. One sec. I kind of went overboard with the bread and pastries. My hands are completely full over here. Pastries? What kind? Ezra, please. Just one of everything. Neat. Can we grab extra? Can you grab extra broche and baguette for me too? Love the ones from the street. They're so good. Hold on, I gotta readjust the pile if I wanna. Just throw them on the floor. They're packaged. So real. Ryoshi, you can't treat food like that, okay? Bakers have feelings too, you know? How do you think the baker would feel if you knew someone was treating their precious babies like trash? The Skyward is riling again for no reason. Anyways, Dante, can you give me a second if you need me to fight? Just need cram and things into my pockets real quick. No, it's not a fight. Then what's this about? Took a closer look at the words written on the wicker basket and the photograph Marcel had brought me. Where's that bakery you're at? Oh, found a person. Yeah. All right. Wait, which one's this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. We're going to take a pause here for now. We will continue tomorrow. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching, those of you who watched. Until tomorrow, I'll catch you later. Peace.